Arthur and Patricia Burney prove they are much more than a passing fling when they marry, have a child, and work hard to get along with Arthur's first family in small-town Oklahoma.
I guess over the years, Trish and I, we did get closer. She was my dad's wife, and I thought she was good to my kids.
Arthur also has 4 grandkids who visit often, especially Ashley and Brianna, who are almost the same age as their 8-year-old aunt, Michelle.
When we were younger, we would ride the horses. We'd swim in their swimming pool.
We were really close, like, we'd tell each other everything, and I mean, she was basically my best friend growing up.
Arthur and Patricia are thriving.
You could just tell that they were happy together. I mean, that he really loved her, and they seemed happy around me.
But there's something odd about Michelle. She can't stand to be separated from her mother.
One time, they literally left 30 minutes, and she called them screaming, crying. She wanted her mom, and I always asked her why. She's like, I just want my mom. I don't want to be away from my mom.
Fine, I'll be there.
She used to run around all the time saying, "Mama, Mama, Mama," all the time. And so that was like an ongoing joke.
Michelle's attachment to Patricia doesn't change, even as the girl approaches her teen years. By 2007, it starts to become clear. Arthur is being edged out. He tries to exert his influence, but Michelle only listens to her mom.
He tried to have the same rules that he had with us, with Michelle.
John.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has really nice hair.
Isn't it way past your bedtime?
I don't have a bedtime.
But you could tell Michelle didn't respect Dad very much.
She got away with a lot.
Daddy's just being mean.
So yeah, who said something?
Michelle, this hasn't been opened, and the homework is not gonna do itself.
Trish never punished her. She got what she wanted when she wanted it.
Okay.
Anyways.
When I look at Patricia, what I see is somebody who never really wanted to grow up. It's like she was a teenager herself. And so when she finally had a daughter who was the age of sort of her emotional age, they connected and bonded as if they literally were the same chronological age.
Michelle also has trouble fitting in with the rest of her family.
Michelle, come play with us, come on.
I'm busy.
Oh, you're busy. Patricia, can you just get Michelle to get involved with us?
You Bernie's in your games.
You ladies and your fingernail polish. Come on, girls, let's go. You ready?
Michelle has another interest, boys.
When she developed, she was all about the photos, above high, showing cleavage, the short skirts, and she was about the male attention. She wanted it bad.
Do you want one?
She was very provocative at a young age. She wore whatever she wanted. She said whatever she wanted.
You should start by unbuttoning 1 button or 2. They like that. Cleavage is good.
She wanted to talk about sexual things, and I wasn't really like that, and she knew things that I didn't think she should have known at the age.
Arthur tries to intervene.
No, there's no way you're going to a dress like that.
Yeah, whatever.
Go change.
I'm not gonna change.
Yes, you will, and give me this phone.
Oh, you're so annoying!
Get up now!
She just thought he was just evil because of that.
She said that he hated her, and I just tell her that's not true. He loves you.
Michelle needs some serious reining in. You gotta start practicing some mothering skills here.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, you heard me.
Oh, what, Archie?
That kid is staying in that room! She's not going to that dance! You hear me?
She's beautiful. You have a beautiful daughter.
She's like, he's just a piece of crap. I hate him. And I never said I hated my mom or my dad ever. And I was in shock that she ever said that.
Michelle's budding sexuality drives a wedge between the couple.
Hey, ladies, I'm home.
And after 13 years, Arthur and Patricia's marriage has fallen into a rut.
Ridiculous.
He wasn't a really social, crowd kind of person. He liked to be at home, and she would gripe about that a lot.
The only thing Art wanted to do was go home after work, grab a beer,
and head to the barn.
At a loss as to how to deal with his daughter's wilder side and his bored wife, Arthur chooses to spend more time with his horses than his family.
She and Michelle like to go out, and they like to go shopping and go out and eat and everything, and Art absolutely had no interest in doing that.
While Arthur's not paying attention, Patricia keeps spending a lot.
Huh?
They were really bad in debt. She had a Dodge truck. Well, she told my dad it got stolen. It got repoed. You know, they were having financial issues, and he didn't know.
Arthur also doesn't know that Michelle's distracting herself from the stresses of her parents' marriage by flirting online.
What you doing?
It's like a dating site kind of thing.
Show me.
Okay. Oh, let's make you a profile.
Yeah?
Yeah, we
All
can
right.
do that. Okay, here we go.
I knew she was on a website, but I didn't know it was dating at the time. I just thought it was another social networking website, but then I would look it up and it'd say a dating website.
I always told her, be careful, because, you know, a lot of them lie about their age. And she was like, age is not a big deal to me. And I asked her why, and she said, because my mom said that age is just a number.
Patricia seems to encourage her behavior
Naughty man.
and then starts to dabble in online dating herself. Her adventures soon move beyond the virtual world and into the real one.
My niece Whitney was getting married, and it was at her wedding rehearsal.
She really looked beautiful, didn't she?
Yeah.
She started chit-chatting, and she told me she was seeing somebody.
I met someone online.
Oh. So, Patricia's cheating on Dad.
My first thought was, we gotta tell Dad. And we actually talked about telling Dad, but then you think, why would she tell his daughter? Maybe she wants us to tell Dad and Dad not to believe it and cause a gap with us. We went through a lot of what to do about this information. We had actually come down to the decision that we were going to follow Patricia, catch her, and then tell Dad.
But Karen and Samantha are not skilled detectives.
Because I was like, I can't prove it, and he's gonna think I've lost my mind. If I come to him and say, Trish told me she's cheating on you, he'd be like, what? So we just kept our mouth shut.
It's not just Arthur's marriage that looks shaky. Friends and family notice that he looks under the weather.
Everyone just noticed how he just looked kind of just sick.
He had like black under his eyes. His hair was horrible. And my dad always cared about his hair. I mean, he looked bad. He did drink a lot. On the weekends, he waited to 12:01. When the clock hit 12:01, he had a beer. So I thought, you know, finally caught up. And he smoked like a freight train.
He seemed very sluggish, and he said he felt sluggish. He just didn't feel right, and he was concerned.
He's not helped by the fact that his daughter Michelle's behavior at age 14 is really stressing him out, especially when he meets one of her dates.
Patricia, who's this guy? Michelle? Who's he?
A friend,
How old's his friend?
27.
27.
I don't know any dad that would want a 27-year-old hanging out on the couch with their 13, 14-year-old daughter.
Pal, get the hell out of here. Now!
Dad!
Get up!
Dad!
Go!
Dad, he's a nice guy!
He actually threw the guy out of the home, and I know him and Michelle had a screaming match about it.
Mom's not gonna help you.
And Patricia, I think, actually took Michelle's side.
You don't even care about her.
Don't you tell me how I feel about my own daughter, okay?
Oh, feel. You don't even have feelings.
If I'm looking at Patricia's mindset, I think that she actually thinks that she is helping her daughter, that she is helping her find people to spend time with and partners in sort of that teenage camaraderie kind of a way, instead of what a traditional parent would do, which would be to really try and shelter and monitor their child's early dating experiences.
If you come home and find your 14-year-old daughter with a 27-year-old guy over, there is no overreaction you could have short of shooting the guy.
Oh! Sweetie. Sweetie.
He didn't have the right to do that.
I know. Daddy shouldn't have treated you and your friends like that.
He was a really nice guy. What did he have to kick him out like that? I hate him so much right now.
Okay, but who's this guy?
Michelle quickly finds a more suitable target for her affections. 17-year-old Michael Richardson from Oklahoma City.
We should drive up to Oklahoma City and visit Michael. Really?
A few days later, Patricia takes Michelle to pick up her date, then drops them off at a nearby mall in Tulsa. A few hours later, they decide to bring Michael home to meet Arthur.
Come on! Hurry up! So you guys have a good time?
Tonight happens to be Arthur and Patricia's 16th wedding anniversary. But Arthur is in no mood to celebrate.
Why are the lights off? Art? Art? Art, are you here? He's not in the house. Maybe the bar.
Arthur and Patricia Burney's 16th wedding anniversary should be cause for celebration. Instead, Patricia returns home to find a scene of horror.
Art! Michelle! Michael! Oh my God!
She finds Arthur's body in the barn and calls 911.
I need an ambulance. My husband, I guess, is failing and there's blood all over the place. I can't make him get up. Is he still breathing?
No, he's not breathing.
They walk her through CPR of Arthur.
I don't know how to.
Okay, I want you to place your hand.
Okay.
Your ear next to his mouth. Can you feel or hear any breathing?
Okay.
But it's too late. Arthur Burney is dead.
So when the medical examiner's investigator arrived at the scene, assessed the scene, and evaluated Mr. Burney's lifeless body, she could find no evidence of trauma whatsoever.
Initially, there do not seem to be any visible wounds. The blood appears to be the result of Arthur's face impacting on the barn floor.
She saw no reason to suspect any kind of foul play.
Only one thing is immediately certain. At 53, Arthur Burney is too young to die.
I'm always letting the kids play with my phone or whatever. Somehow it got turned on silent. I finally looked at my phone and I thought, oh, I had 2 missed calls from Trish. And so I called and I was like, hey, did you call? And she said, your dad passed away last night.
I pretty much was in denial. I kept saying, no, he's not. No, he's not. She said, no. I said, you're lying. And she's like, no, I'm not lying. I walk in the house and Patricia's sitting on the couch, smoking a cigarette. And I'm like, what's going on?
He's dead.
If Arthur's sudden death is not enough of a shock,
It was a heart attack.
the family's about to be devastated by the next piece of news. At the morgue, the medical examiner does a more thorough exam, and what he finds will change everything.
The medical examiner actually finds what appears to be an entrance wound in Mr. Burney's head. Mr. Burney had been shot in the head by a small caliber rifle, a .22 rifle, and the projectile had entered just at his eyebrow line, which probably helped in part to mask the actual entrance wound. At that point in time, everyone's operating under the idea that Mr. Burney had been murdered.
Hey,
it just didn't make sense that anybody would shoot him.
My dad didn't have any enemies. I mean, who possibly would have wanted my dad gone?
Patricia's boyfriend's story checks out, confirming her alibi. So the police are back to square one. They start digging deeper into Patricia and Michelle's online activities.
Both she and Michelle had an active internet life. She was very active in online discussions with other men, some platonic, some were very sexual in nature.
As the police pour through their private lives,
Hey, darling.
friends rally around Patricia and Michelle.
You got those papers?
We were trying to raise money for her because obviously we just knew how devastating it was going to be. So we just wanted to try to do everything we could help.
Can you believe it? They think I did it. They're following me everywhere. What's this? Thank you.
She said that they suspected her of his murder. And we thought that was totally irrational.
With the investigation stalled, the family steel themselves for Arthur's funeral.
Michelle talked about her daddy.
You know how Daddy always had a comb for his hair?
She said, you know, we forgot to put Daddy's comb in his pocket. And so I gave her a comb.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Michelle always seemed like the girl next door.
But not to the cops. They've been tipped off to the fact that sweet little Michelle knows a lot more than she's letting on.
Christina? Hi, yeah. I don't know what to do, man.
Michelle had a conversation with one of her teenage friends.
I don't know what to do.
It was a conversation which caused this friend enough concern that she told her father, and her father then alerted law enforcement authorities.
I know where he put the gun.
They now assume Michelle was somehow involved. So they go back to re-interview her alibi, her internet date from Oklahoma City, Michael Richardson.
Michael and Michelle met online, and they had actually not met physically till just a few days before this murder occurred.
There were texts between Michelle and Michael, and the content of those texts were highly sexual.
But it's the timing of those messages and Michael's movements that raise suspicion.
We were able to determine that statements about him being picked up weren't exactly accurate.
So the cops pick up Michael Richardson to press him on the issue.
We were able to get him in front of us and say, what about this? What about that?
At what time exactly did you enter the turnpike?
3:30?
Michael's story starts to fall apart. He claims Patricia picked him up from a parking lot close to the Burney home before dropping him and Michelle at the mall. But surveillance video from the store shows no sign of his presence. In fact, they'd already picked him up from Oklahoma City, giving him ample time to visit the Burney house and then go to the mall in Tulsa.
Those little things that were inaccuracies, then the big things became glaring.
Suspicion quickly turns to certainty after the forensic analysis of the murder weapon. A trace of DNA from the rifle matches a sample from Michael Richardson.
And when you can finally just say, we're done with that story, it's time to tell the truth, he did.
Okay, I'll tell you what I know.
Michael admits to pulling the trigger.
Who the hell are you?
and then, just as quickly, points the finger at someone else, his new girlfriend, Michelle. 14-year-old Michelle is arrested at school the same day. Michael goes on to describe how Michelle set up the hit.
Michelle took Michael to the tack room of the barn that Art was found in.
Daddy's tack room?
Locked him in the tack room, or shut the door on the tack room. Michael thought it was locked, and Michael waited. When Arthur came to the tack room like he always did to take care of his property and his animals, Michael shot him.
Who the hell are you?
Michael said he just panicked and shot.
Michael Richardson and Michelle are in police custody. But this investigation is not over. The next day, Patricia tries to visit her daughter Michelle at the courthouse where she's being held.
I believe she had come to actually check on Michelle's status.
She doesn't realize that the police have a warrant out for her arrest.
What are you doing? Officer, what are you doing?
On March 15, 2011, Patricia Burney is formally charged with first-degree murder. The primary witnesses against her, Michael Richardson and her daughter Michelle.
I think you made a mistake.
After her arrest and throughout her trial, Patricia maintains her innocence.
Michelle did it. Michelle and this boyfriend of hers. I knew he was bad news from the moment I saw him.
What mother does that to your own child? The more I was around her at the trial, she was so cold. And it was like she didn't have a heart.
But the web of texts and online messages prove that she masterminded the entire plan.
Through the court subpoenaed everything, her conversations and stuff. The back and forth conversations that she had deleted off her phone.
Michael Richardson claims he only fired because he was scared of Arthur and Michelle and Patricia.
I felt sorry for him. I know when people are like, how do you feel sorry for somebody who killed your dad? I think he was clueless. I mean, he wasn't a bright individual by any means.
Don't screw this up.
And I think he got suckered. I honestly do.
These are the kinds of scenarios where people scratch their heads and say, how could Patricia have done something like this to her own daughter, who she was so close to, could have done this to her boyfriend and to her? And the answer is this: Patricia's a sociopath. And sociopaths don't truly emotionally connect with anyone.
And to saddle a kid with that is just so heinously evil. To send those two kids through the rest of their lives, knowing that they were instruments of murder, is just really almost destruction of 3 lives, Arthur's and both of theirs.
Michael enters a plea bargain and is sentenced to 28 years in prison. Michelle's trial is transferred to juvenile court. She is sentenced to serve 3 years. By 2014, she's out of detention.
I'm very conflicted about Michelle. I mean, as a sister, I loved her. I know that Trish told her things that wasn't true. I know she brainwashed her, so to speak. And yet then there's a side of she tried to kill my dad several times, not once, several times over 6 months. How do you kill your parent?
Patricia Burney is convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life without parole.
It's finally over. They got her. I remember just saying, Dad, they got her. She's not going to get away with it.
Arthur Burney, beloved father, grandfather, and friend to many, lies dead for the crime of marrying the wrong woman.
He was just such a good man. He's just the type of person that you'd want in your life.
My life will never be the same.
They will never know what they've taken from us. I miss him every minute of every day.